Thank you for the opportunity to give feedback for webinar 4 entitled Flexible and Blended Teaching and Learning Practices in the Pset sector. The webinar was chaired by Dr. Thandi Lewin. I myself, Francois Strydom, talked about the relationship between students and learning materials during the emergency response to COVID-19. Dr. Chen Win Wang talked on online assessments influencing social justice at South African TVET colleges. Ms. Gertrude van Wyk spoke about flexible learning, catering for diverse needs of students through open learning. Mr. Mukhtar Rabban spoke about pedagogical approaches and learning designs in blended learning. And Ms. Sinetemba Zungu spoke about online learning achieving parity of participation of students. In terms of the core themes across the different presentations, firstly, there's a dire need for basic learning infrastructure across all institutions in the Pset sector. We need to ensure that all Pset staff and students have access to basic learning infrastructure, which includes appropriate devices, data, and connectivity. We also need solutions for accommodation and in the Pset institutions, specifically TVETs, around transportation. We saw this in the higher education data that students don't have conducive learning environments. We need to prioritize digital skills development at institutional and national level. If we are going into a future where there's a wider range of learning materials, our students need to be able to do effective searches, need to distinguish between academic and non-academic knowledge, and they need to be able to engage ethically with academic content. All our institutions need to prioritize these digital skills as part of creating information and media literacy and developing the graduate attributes that our students need to become citizens of a 21st century world. In addition, our academic staff at the different institutions need to be trained on how to incorporate technology into their pedagogical approaches to promote social justice. At the very least, institutions need to invest in learning designers to help them weave in technology as part of their pedagogy. Thirdly, we need flexible content delivery platforms that allow us to integrate textbooks, institutionally developed materials, and OERs across different devices. These platforms need to be built on universal design principles to integrate and enable our disabled students to participate, and they need to link with our learning management systems. By integrating all these resources, we'll be able to create a scenario where students can learn in different ways at different times from different sources in different spaces. From the higher education data, it's very clear that NSFAS makes a big difference to students having devices and data, and that definitely needs to be continued, but we need to find creative solutions for our missing middle students to help ensure that there is an equitable learning environment. We also think our NSFAS policies can provide more guidance on how the learning material allowance is structured to include laptop data provision and so forth, empowering our students and helping them not to have to choose between the tools they need to succeed and helping their families with very difficult challenges resulting from poverty. The efforts to improve the effectiveness and efficiency of NSFAS need to be strengthened and supported, since higher education students did comment on how delays of NSFAS payment negatively affected their ability to learn. Fifthly, this is a time for us to reimagine learning and teaching in the Pset sector. Our students and staff have learned valuable lessons about the benefits of technology and how it can be infused. Embracing technology offers an opportunity for Pset staff to redefine their role as teachers and for institutions to be more responsive, but also for our students to become more self-reliant. Finally, policy development is very important. The implications for subsidy of the current definitions of contact distance and online education will need to be reconsidered for a new normal. Our quality assurance approaches will need to be adapted for more flexible learning approaches in a post-pandemic world. And then also our draft open learning policy needs to look carefully at how it defines open learning, but also how it can include clearer guidelines around assessment and moderation. Thank you very much, colleagues.